Hello everybody and welcome aboard Island Packet 439 number 6, the 439 that we just finished and we launched actually yesterday. We built this boat for Julie and David, and we hope obviously that they enjoy the boat and have many years of happy cruising. We want to wish you guys a happy holidays. Today is December 1st and we hope everybody has a great holiday season from Island Packet team. So we're on board number 6 today. As you can see, it is a mahogany interior. They did a buff ultra leather, and then they did the darker countertops, and which I think really looks nice on the boat. This is the boat with our first new style side lights. The old ones were on and off switches. These actually dim down and have different brightnesses that you can set them on. So that's a new upgrade there. Julie decided not to do the washer dryer in the utility room. Instead, she did the extra refrigerator. So they've ended up with 2 refrigerators and a freezer. So lots of refrigeration space. So we're going to start out in the utility room today. So we are in the 439 utility room. And as I mentioned, we've got 2 refrigerators. We also have an open storage area here that we cover with a Sunbrella canvas enclosure. So a nice storage area here that you can do spare parts in. And then we've obviously got the Northern Lights 4 kW generator, our fender storage. This boat did do the engine and generator oil change system, as well as we have the standard dual ray cores with the electric bleeder pump. Our standard stool that you can sit on when you're back here working on the generator or other components, changing ray core filters or stuff like that. Obviously access through here to the shaft log and to the back of the engine through this drop-in. And then on the side here, we have access to the engine as well. Okay. So obviously we got good lighting back here, and David and Julie did not do the aft air conditioner units. They did the salon and the forward cabin and forward head units. Into the galley, we do have the larger trash bin on board number 6, and obviously that's now standard going forward. We've got the standard dish storage, cutlery, silverware storage, forced tin 3-burner stovetop. They did do the microwave oven. You can elect not to do the microwave oven and do some storage with louvered doors similar to the doors that we have here. Large dry storage area on a spring now, so it holds itself up. Obviously, this is a Seagull freshwater filter. The water is filtered through this tap as well as through the cold water side of each of the sinks in the head, so you can brush your teeth. Our standard Growy faucet pulls out, allows you to spray down the sink. Obviously, this is a Corian sink that we fuse to the countertop, so there's no risk of water migration underneath it. We have 7 dovetail drawers in the boat, all nicely done. And then, of course, we have storage below the galley sink, and then storage below that as well. And there is a light that comes on through a micro switch when you open the doors. We're at the boatyard, so we have the steps covered to keep them nice. And we're actually going to finish this video today with TJ filming the mast beam step. So that's something we haven't done. And that's one of the reasons we're here at the boatyard today, is so that y'all can get an idea of what that looks like. So as always, our easy engine access. This is one of the things that we have obviously changed on the next generation Island Packet. We've got our engine room ventilation here with the hose. Actually, the going straight to the alternator. We have a 170 amp alternator, and it does produce some heat. And what we've learned is if they get too hot, they can set off an alarm. It doesn't change anything as far as the alternator charging, but it does is an inconvenience. So we've got the exhaust blower for that purpose. 80 horsepower Yanmar turbocharged, pushes the boat along really nicely in the 16 to 2,000 RPM range. Certainly at 2,000, 2,100, we're doing 7.5 knots or so in hull speed. We do have a light on, obviously 12-volt light here for the engine area. The antifreeze overflow is easy to get to. This is your primary fuel pump, fuel filter. Your oil filters below it, as well as your dipstick along on the starboard side there. Another access door to the port side. So you do have basically 4-sided access, front, both sides, and in the rear. All right. Obviously, we've done, insulation in here as well. Okay. So this is our, obviously, our maple and mahogany grate. And below it, you can see this is designed to be a dustpan and catch all the stuff that comes down, and it's already doing its job. We wanted to open this up today and show you the interior here. In any place where we have items like this, we do put a light in the bilge, which is nice. Most manufacturers won't give you lights in the bilge. We've got our Groco bronze sea strainers lined up here. These have engine, generator, and air conditioning. Shower pump down here, shower filter, and that's obviously for the aft head. Bilge is nice and clean and ready to go. This is not the lowest part of the bilge. The lowest part of the bilge is actually below the salon, and that's where the bilge pumps are installed. Okay. Oh, better turn the light off. All right. So normal aft cabin, the inner spring mattress. We do obviously have the sail stowed back there right now, as well as the cushions. We give all of our owners a wrench for the shaft log. So you do have a wrench for adjusting the shaft log. And as many of our owners know, that without the wrench, it's harder to do. So we've got obviously shelf storage here. We've got a hanging locker here. And again, like all of our hanging lockers, when you open the door, the light does come on with a micro switch right here, and they also are cedar lined. I'll open this door here for TJ. So we're obviously in the aft head. We've got the Raritan Elegance electric macerating toilet. The toilet is designed for fresh water or raw water, either way, depending on which switch you use. This Island Packet shower door that we do sandblast in-house with the waves and our logo pattern on it. And again, our Growy faucet. We have great water pressure on the boat. We put a good sized water pump on the boat, so you do get good water pressure for showering. Storage underneath the sink. And then these folks chose the older style under counter mount stainless sink versus the vessel. So you get a choice. Obviously, we have an air conditioning heating vent here for the aft head. And obviously our blinds that we do on all the hatches where we have a blackout one way and then, of course, green the other direction. All right, let's move on forward. On the back side of the galley, we do have a pantry. And this is a nice shelf storage for canned goods, smaller galley goods like that. We also coming up on number 14. We have an owner who wants a wine cooler, and we've designed a wine cooler to go in this area versus the pantry. It will make her sink slightly smaller, but as most things in life, everything's about choices, right? Wine cooler, smaller sink. Pantry, bigger sink. So that's why we build your boat. All right, we're in the salon now. On the starboard side is our normal L-shaped settee. They did do the footstool option. There is, the lid does lift up on the footstool for storage below. As all the 439s have, we've got a built-in file cabinet here. It should just barely clear the cushions. And so you can do your ship's paper storage in there. We have storage behind, nice storage area here. We also have additional storage below all the areas behind the settees as well. You just won't find a boat with more storage than an Island Packet. Below here we have our batteries, so we won't open that up today. And then we've got more storage over here, as well as our Victron inverter, 3,000 watt inverter. Give you a little armrest for the seats. All right, this boat is equipped with electric winches. We do have the Seldine synchronized mainsail system. So below the settee, we have the brake for all those winches in the Seldine system. Port side, we have the most popular option, which is the two settees with the drop-down table. Table will drop down. Get out of the way if you want. Obviously, we have two cup holders for drinks. Table back up. As we changed in one of the earlier models, we do have the row top desk openings for storage. And then, like the last boat, we have the countertop storage here as well. 12-volt, 110-volt panel. We opened it up today so you get a nice view of the wiring that we do. All the wiring is obviously nicely laid out and all numbered for you. The Victron battery inverter controller, nicely done. And then we have our tank tender here. We do have room for additional equipment or electronics here. And then I believe they're getting a 12-inch display down below. And that's going to be taken care of in there. Our salon air conditioner, that is a 110 unit, 17,000 BTU. So our standard table comes down, sits in the little grommet. And then you have, so they did not want the wine glass storage. So we modified the cabinet behind this table to actually have two shelves for glasses and then bottle storage. As always, the bottle storage is adjustable for different size bottles. We do have an option for a double leaf table if you want it to come over to this side, but with this port settee arrangement, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, I think. All right. Storage behind the starboard settee is standard or optional. You can make them half cabinets, full cabinets, or no cabinets, depending on what you want. This cabinet right here is also optional if you don't want that and you want, the boat to feel a little bit more open inside. Salon hanging locker, again, cedar line, light comes on with a micro switch, louvered for ventilation. Back below here, we have our safe. And then we're into the forward owner's cabin. Our standard full to queen size berth, inner spring mattress. There is storage underneath here as well. So lifting this up does provide you some nice storage for blankets and sheets, stuff like that. You have a nice cedar line drawer here. Our drawer slides, obviously, dovetail, cedar line. Nicely done. We have our 12-volt air conditioner running right now on the heat mode because it's winter here in Florida, and it was 61 degrees on the boat when I got in, and now it's at 67. So we're not hooked up to shore power currently, but I am able to heat the boat or cool the boat with the 12-volt unit. They did do lithium batteries on board this boat. We have 600 amp hours of lithium, so we're not worried about battery consumption, quite frankly. So we have a shelf locker to starboard, and then we have his and hers hanging lockers here to port. So obviously, my guess is his is the smaller one, and hers is the larger one. You can, if you want to step on in, TJ, and grab a corner, I'll open this up for them. And there's her hanging locker. And again, as you can see, the lights come on. We do provide access through a lift-up drop board to hoses and stuff like that. And that would be a room for probably another set of place for a couple more pairs of shoes, would be my guess. All of our outlets do have twin USB connectors as well, and that's throughout the boat. And we've ended up in the forward head. I'll let TJ show you that. We do have the frosted vessel sink, obviously their choice of Corian, the Raritan Elegant saltwater raw water, freshwater flush toilet, shower forward, and then they did do the wet locker forward, which has become an option starting with the last boat, number 5. And you can see that we build a bulkhead there out of starboard material, and then we provide ventilation and a dowel in there so you can actually hang up your, fallies or your dive gear in there if you want. We can also build that as a dry locker if you want. So we build it a similar way, but without the louvers, and you can store towels and stuff like that. The owners or buyers of one of the boats coming up want the same enclosure, but they want it as a dry locker. TJ's obviously showing you the shower door, similar to the one in the aft head. That again, we do sandblast there at the factory. So we're going to finish up here today on deck. I'm going to show you just around the deck a little bit, and then we're going to keep TJ here so that you can do a video on stepping the mast. Okay, everybody, we're on deck on 43906 Priority, built for David and Julie. I'm going to just show you a couple of things here on the deck before we set up to do the mast stepping. We do have a few of the electronics installed. We've got the autopilot here, obviously this variable speed bow thruster, and then we do have a 12-inch display. We've got Nick here installing some shocks for the hatches, and this is actually a new style hatch, and you notice there's a little star on the bottom of it. So we've changed over the hatch to get a little bit better watertight fit on the hatch. The boat, as I mentioned, does have electric primary winches. So we've got 2-speed Harkin primary winches. We also have the Seldine electric winch. And not only does that handle pulling out and in the mainsail, but it also operates as a 3-speed electric winch. So going up the mast on that 3rd speed is really a lot of fun. We did the standard Harkin winch to starboard, and there's really nothing over here besides a traveler line, a boom fang, and possibly a spare spinnaker halyard coming back to that winch. So it's pretty easy. We also did the electric furlers on the boat from Seldine, so there will be no furling lines coming back. So and this boat, as number 5, does not have a jib boom. So we're down to really the only lines we have on this boat is we have our sheet lines for our main, our jib, our reacher, and we have a main outhaul. And that's really going to be all the lines coming back into the cockpit. It's going to be pretty simple sailing. We hope to get you out sailing on the boat hopefully this weekend. And we'll, I think, close it with that. And TJ will hang around and show you guys how to step the mast. Once again, happy holidays from Team Island Packet. God bless.